Hey everyone, my name is Joe Gonzalez. Thanks for joining us again for tips, tricks, and techniques with Mamaki's applications team. This month, I'll be reviewing a print and cut workflow with the JFX200EX and the CF22. I'll be using a feature called ID Cut to simplify the workflow between the two machines. Let's get started. I'll be creating this POP style COVID-19 announcement board. It's about 4.5 feet tall, a couple feet wide. And I'll be printing it on a basic white foam core. For this example, I'll be using Adobe Illustrator along with Rasterling Tools plugin, Rasterling 6 Plus, and Cutting Link. Okay, so here we have the artwork. As you can see, all of the artwork and the cut lines are all in one layer. I like to keep these organized by separating the artwork from the cut lines. This image is pretty simple. It only has one rectangle for the cut, but it's still good practice to keep them separate when you work for more complex images that have more cut lines, more cut shapes, and more cut layers. So instead of having to dig through the layers for all the cut lines and possibly removing a print layer, I just like to keep everything separate so that it's just easier to work with. Okay, so once they're separate, you can select the whole layer by selecting the layer target. And now you just select the blade icon on the Rasterling Tools menu. If you don't see Rasterling Tools, you can find it under the Windows menu along with all the other plugins that you might have on Illustrator. If you're using Corel Draw, you'll find it under Tools, then Options. So what this does is it prepares it for Rasterling to read it properly. It removes the color from the object, and it changes the color of the line itself to a spot color called Cut Contour. And then it also reduces it to 0.001 point line. Now we select the Rasterling icon. What it does is it'll prompt you to save it, and it automatically selects the preferred EPS format. I'm going to save it directly into the JFX200 top folder. It's located at c:/mijsuite/hot/ the name of your printer. So after a little while, it'll automatically populate the printing cut data in Rasterling. Okay, so this you're going to treat it as pretty much how you would any other print. You're going to start with selecting your resolution, your profile, and your preferred color settings. And by the way, you can make presets for all of this. I just like to show it when I'm doing it, when I'm doing a webinar. So then we're going to go to the Layout tab. Starting from the top, you're going to perform any scaling and orientation changes. And I'm also going to offset it from the edge of the media a little bit. Because I'm going to put crop marks on it. I don't want the crop mark to sit right at the edge. So just a little bit, I'm doing 1/4 inch. I also like to define the print area, especially if I'm printing more than one copy or it's an odd size media, just to make sure that the image I'm printing plus the crop marks fall well within the print area or fall well within the media size. Okay, so now we're going to do the crop marks. Here you can see that it has corner or square crop marks. The CF22's default is square marks, and here it defaults to 0.39 inch. That's just the base default for Rasterling. But you can see here that it has the size recommendation depending on the size of your job. And then you're going to select ID Cut. As soon as you select it, you can see that it populates the serial barcode right here in the corner. And this dotted red line is the cut line. The barcode does a couple things. First, it identifies a print, and then it identifies the orientation. So it doesn't matter what crop mark you put on the origin. If you have a small print or a smaller print, you don't have to have it facing the same way as you did on the printer. ID cut, it'll know which way is up basically, because it identifies each corner within the barcode. And that's it. We're ready to print. As soon as you print the file, it'll automatically send the data to Cutting Link. What Cutting Link does is it stores the cut information linked to the barcode that it created for the job. This is stored on a server or any computer that you designate as a host computer. It doesn't have to be directly hardwired to the JFX or the CF22. It can be, as long as both machines have network access to Cutting Link, then it'll be able to transfer information from one to the other. So as soon as it's done printing, we can move the print over to the cutter. That's a nice little thing about UV. You don't have to wait for curing or outgassing or anything like that. Straight from the printer to the cutter. As you see here, it's reading that first crop mark, and then it's reading the serial barcode. The machine's going to give you confirmation, and it'll repeat the barcode. And with that, as soon as it reads the barcode, it recalls the cut information automatically. There isn't much more that the operator has to do until it's done. To finish this application, I'm using Expo-Link base panels. They don't require more than an Allen wrench. And just like that, the sign is done. Thanks for joining me today. Let us know if you have any questions.